Hey, what's up, guys? Tony here, and I've got some first world problems to tell you about. And as the title suggests, it's going to be related to a PC that I just put together. I would say it seems like a lot of us are going full circle, and we're going from we went from PC to console, and now back to PC. At least that was my course. As far as online multiplayer is concerned, I went from this in 2006, this Dell, or no, sorry, it wasn't. Oh yeah, I had a Dell laptop that I bought in 2004. Actually, that was a decent gaming laptop, and it would run Battlefield 2. Actually, it could run Battlefield 2. It would run Doom 3. It ran Call of Duty 2 and a handful of other games that were like some real-time strategy stuff like that. But it could play online, and I played online. I played Call of Duty 2 online a lot, and it was like I played that game so much. It was freaking fantastic. It was probably one of the better gaming experiences I've had up to that point. And then later on in 2006, I wanted something a little bit more powerful, so I had my brother help me build a gaming PC. And the funny thing is the gaming PC was pretty epic for its time. I mean, it was like the best gaming PC you could build at the time. I bought a monitor and keyboard and mouse and a surround sound system, the tower, and the whole setup. I mean, I spared no expense. And my brother helped me put it together. He's a computer guy. I am not a computer guy. That's what I'm going to say right now. I'm not a computer guy. I'm just a guy who enjoys technology, but I can't work on it. And it's weird too because I'm very much mechanically inclined. I was a mechanic for a while, so I can work on cars. But when it comes to things like computers, it's just like I just can't do it. You know, like this, I mean, physically I could probably put it together. But when it comes to like problems with software, no. Oh, and like hooking up the motherboard to the actual connectors that come with the tower, that would take me a while. Looking at the wiring diagram and kind of going back to my automotive electrical days. Oh, that came out really weird. But the automotive courses that the courses in automotive electricity that I took, like running wires and looking at wiring diagrams. So that would take me a while. So I was glad that my buddy Ryan was here to help me out and actually show me how to put it together, explain what he was doing, and then really get this thing off the ground and running, and then sending me on my way to spend the last, I don't know, it feels like it's been like actually the last 6 hours just downloading programs and games, and it's amazing. So that's the part of this that's like first world problems. You know, people are just like, oh, you need to get this game, you need to get PlanetSide 2, you need to get Battlefield, you're gonna have to get Arma. My brother, he wants me to get Star Wars. And there's a handful of other games that I actually want to play. So I'm like looking at them, I'm trying to download all this stuff, and it's just like taxing the shit out of my system, and my internet can only handle so much. So it's been sort of a hellacious couple of last night and today. And I haven't even got a chance to use the damn thing yet. So I built this computer, and I've been sitting here downloading stuff, and playing with it. So anyways, I want to get back to this old computer. The old computer, I took it apart actually this morning. I took it all apart. Oh no, sorry, last night. I took it all apart, for most of it, and I got the major components out. And for whatever reason, I felt it necessary to actually keep those parts, like souvenirs or something, keepsake from my old PC days. So I kept the Pentium 4 chip, and it's funny, it was like a Pentium 4, I think it was like a 2 gigahertz or something. It was actually a really fast chip for the time. The graphics card was a ATI Radeon X700, which by comparison to the card that I have now, it's tiny. It's like, I don't know, it looks like a wireless adapter. It's not very big at all. And then it had two 512 megabyte, memory for RAM. So it 1024 is what it had for RAM, and that was it. I mean, that was like the best of the best gaming computer at the time. And so while I'm looking at those stats, and 7 years later, it's just like, oh my God, this thing is a pie. I mean, it could probably run as a calculator. That's all it could do. I mean, it's probably still like a decent computer for, like word processing or whatever, but it's not graphically would not, obviously not handle. And it's the leaps in technology too, like the different sort of connectors, and like the SATA connector. The other one I had, the older style, whatever it was, IGPN9 or something like that. So it's interesting to like see the new computer and stand next to the old computer. So for those of you guys who are the more computer inclined, the specs on the computer that I picked up were, and I'll get into the kind of the story of it. The specs are a i7 3770K CPU. The graphics card is the GeForce. It's a EVA, I think it is. Anyway, so it's a GeForce GTX 660. The memory I have in there is 16 gigabytes. It's a terabyte of hard drive space. The memory is running at with 7200 RPMs for the hard drive, and the RAM is 1600. The guy at Crysis was telling me that's what the native speed for the Intel chip, so there was no need to go any higher than 1600 whatever per second. Let's see here, 600 watt power supply, and then it's a case. It's an Intermax case. I mean, it's full of holes. It looks Swiss cheese like on the top and the sides, so it's great for ventilation. It looks pretty sweet. And so, no, I also had to pick up a monitor because I didn't have a monitor. So I found I went back to Best Buy and kind of picked up a cheap monitor. But here's the thing: as I was thinking about building this PC, I don't know, like for a while now, it started out with sort of like a seed in the back of my head. Thanks to Scanner Barkley, he really ruined my life this way. So I had the seed planted in my head, and I decided, okay, when I get my tax return, I'm gonna buy a computer. So like the last 2 years, I bought a computer. Like I bought my iMac last year, which would have saved me a lot of money if I would have just bought a gaming PC, but whatever, I bought the iMac. So now I got an iMac and it's gaming PC. So 2 years in a row, I've picked up computers. And so, I sort of was battle planning out, sort of like, asking people, people were doing the PC parts picker stuff for me. And I was sort of doing this crash course in what the hell is what, on gaming and like components wise, and just sort of trying to figure out what's what, because there's a lot of things that I had learned, like the memory speed, how memory affects the computer and processing, what is hyper-threading, 4-channel, understanding the technical aspects of the chip, understanding sizes. Like I didn't know like there was actual sizes of I just thought it was just like you buy a motherboard and boom, it goes in. I didn't realize that. I mean, I had an idea that the chip and the motherboard go together, so those have to match up, but I didn't know the actual physical size mattered to the size of the case. So that was something else that I had to figure out. So like learning the ATX is like a standard, and they got the full and the mini and the one that is like a horse trough. It's huge, and there were $500 cases out there. I was just like, what the $500 cases? That's double than what I paid for the graphics card, which was the second most expensive purchase in this whole build was the graphics card. And then of course the i7 was terribly expensive too. But the one thing is I was able to do this thing on the light, which was a concern of mine because I wanted to make sure that I was stayed within my budget. And the funny thing is like when you tell people how much you have to spend and you don't really tell them that, well, I kind of want to have money left over, they go and build you this beast fucking computer, and you're just like, okay, well that's fine. It's $1,400. I don't have that much money. So what I did is I was going to order it all from Newegg, and I put all the parts in there, and it came out to, I don't know, like a little over $10.50 or something after taxes, and shipping was free. And I was like, state tax, what the freaking crap? They charge taxes in California and New York, and I think Texas or someplace in the middle of the country. And so I turned my buddy Ryan, who's helped me out, answering questions with Scanner and Teresa and Phoenix and Andy, and all these people were helping me out the other day. And I was just like, you know what? Let's just go to the buy in the store. If I'm gonna pay tax, then what the hell am I gonna wait 4 days for it to come in the mail, or 5 days or whatever to come in the mail? I'm just gonna order it or go in the store and buy it and pay for the tax right here, and then I'll just come home and be able to play with it tonight. And that's what we did. The cool thing about that though is that a lot of companies now are match pricing the internet. So the chip, the i7 chip that was $315 at Fry's, they matched the price to a website online. And I didn't even ask him the match price. The guy just actually prompted me. He goes, oh yeah, by the way, the i7 is this much, because I was going to get the i5. So he said the i7 was $229 on this website, and he can match that website. He just volunteered that information to me. I was like, sweet. And then he match priced a lot of other stuff. So he saved me a lot of money. So the i5 was gonna be $229 anyway. So it's like, gee, let me think. Should I spend $229 for the i5 or $229 for the i7? That's a tough one. So obviously I went with the i7. And so he matched the price some stuff on the some other stuff in the basket, and then he was able to match price. Oh no, they couldn't match price on the graphics card because it was one number off from the one at Best Buy, which was $209 and not $249. So I had to go to Best Buy to pick up a monitor and my graphics card. But after it was all said and done, it was actually under, for the tower itself was under $1,000. I was like, okay, that was cool. With the monitor, it was like probably a little under $1,100. So it was a nice build for under $1,000. I was actually kind of surprised that I got it done. So what does this mean for my channel? This doesn't necessarily mean that suddenly I'm going to become a PC elitist, because my heart and soul is in console gaming, the PS3. So I'm going to remain there. All my videos are going to come from there. I don't know if, like, as of right now, and I say this, and I know everyone says this, I'm not going to go anywhere, but I think maybe I might toy with capturing from the PC, but as of right now, I know I have a comfort level with console, and I've got friends who play on console, so I'm not about to ditch those guys just because of better graphics or whatever. So I can explain that into another video. This is running out of time, but I thought I'd share that with you. I'm really excited. I'm really tired of downloading programs right now because that's what I've been doing all day. I just want to get on there and play and see the pretty graphics and get my ass handed to me on Battlefield on the PC. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.